Hey guys, NJ Diz here again. I wanted to make a kind of part two to my River Country, the story of what happened, because I've been getting a couple of emails that kind of ask the same questions, and I wanted to address them a little better than I could in just a short little comment or or an email that would only get to one person and wouldn't answer everybody at once. Um, One of the questions that I get more than a couple times is why couldn't River Country, why couldn't Disney just cut off the lake? The problem why they shut down was because they weren't allowed to use the lake anymore because of the stagnant water. And well, why couldn't they just stop using the lake and reopen the pool? Technically, they could. Technically Disney could clean up the pool and reopen that and just not use the lake. They could use the beach area, like Contemporary and Caribbean Beach. They use the beach area around their lakes, but they don't actually use the lake. They could do that, but the amount of money that Disney would have to invest into the park, even to bring it up to that level, would be phenomenal. If you're talking about being able for people to use the beach again that skirted that little portion of the lake, you're talking still about cleaning up the lake, because right now it's not a lake, it's a swamp. There's all kinds of weeds growing through it, and murk and muck and mire floating in the lake, and people don't want to see that. So they would have to clean the lake up. They would have to redo the beach, because if you look at the photos, and even if you use the program Google Earth and you use the satellite pictures, you see that the beach is a complete mess. So they would have to clean that up. It's just not worth it. It's not worth it at all for Disney. Um, if they were to just use the pool, that still is a ton of work. You're talking about a pool that's been sitting dormant for, you know, close to 10 years now. All the water's gone, but they still have to clean it up, clean all the stuff that fell into the pool out, clean up the rocks and the cement and all the masonry work around it, and clean up the pool itself, because the pool itself is concrete, so they'd have to uh, probably pressure wash the all the concrete in the pool and clean all that up. Who knows? After all these years, does the filtration system even work? Would that need to be replaced? All the walkways need to get redone. If you look at the pictures the Tricircle Disney took, all everything is pitiful in the park. It's not just a matter of filling it up with clean water. It would cost a phenomenal amount, and to fill up to redo the pool doesn't make any sense. The whole point of River Country was the slides. It was the slides and the lazy river that you floated down, and the kiddie cove, and the tire swing, all of which were in that lake area. So the only thing in River Country that they could really reopen would be that pool with those two slides that drop into it. That's really the only thing that they could really open back up there. And that's not worth it. Are you really gonna, is Disney gonna charge people admission to go to a pool? All of their hotels have pools. So how would they make money on that? It would be a loss. So that's the deal with why can't they could technically reopen that one pool and not use the lake for anything, but it's still a big. I think that's a bigger waste of money than trying to redo the whole park. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong. Um, Another question I've been asked is a lot of other um, attractions use lake water. Like for example, the parasailing that they do in Bay Lake by the Contemporary, and Wet and Wild in Orlando has a portion of their park. It's a lake, and they use it for skiing and wakeboarding and kneeboarding and stuff like that. Why are they allowed? to do that, and River Country was more or less forced into a kind of shutdown because of it. As far as I know, don't use this in like a school report or anything because I'm not entirely sure on the law. I think it has to do with the way that the lake is being used. That the lake is being used for wakeboarding and not swimming. And you're probably saying to yourself, what the hell is the difference? People are in the lake. What does it matter if they're skiing or swimming? As far as I know, amoebae, plural for amoebas, sorry, I'm not trying to talk down to anybody, I'm just saying. Um, as far as I know, the amoeba that live in the water like to live in on the bottom of the water in the shallow area. So swimmers that are going in and out of the water would be more likely to stir up the bottom sand and sediment and stir the amoeba into the water where it could go in your ear, up your nose, in your eye, in your mouth. Um, there's a greater risk of it, you know, as opposed to skiing and surfing and parasailing, where you're in the middle of the lake in deeper water where if you dumped into the lake you wouldn't be walking on the bottom, you'd be treading water. um why anybody would want to swim in the I'm you know, maybe I'm not the best one because I did go to River Country and I did swim in it, but when I was little. But now that I'm older I realize, why would you want to swim in that water, in the water of like Bay Lake when you take the ferry, or if you walk around the park, like Contemporary area, and you look at that water? It's gross. It's standing water, there's no circulation. It's a bowl with water in it that doesn't go nowhere. It doesn't circulate. It doesn't move. If it wasn't for the boats, there wouldn't be any agitation in the water at all. And that's what amoeba loves, is stagnant water, which is what that is. Um, so I think that's why certain activities you can still like kind of be in the water, like with the wakeboarding and parasailing. And the final question that I sometimes get asked is the current status of River Country. Uh, as of right now, as of January 2011, River Country is still there. As far as I know, there hasn't been any activity with it, but you have to understand, as of this point, January 11, Disney is busy with other projects. Disney is building a Four Seasons resort, a Four Seasons resort next to the Osprey Golf Course in the Magic Kingdom area, and they're also working on the new animation hotel, which is going to be part of the value resorts, like a Pop Century, pop music, stuff like that. It's going to be Disney Animation suites. So their money and manpower is tied up in more profitable schemes at the moment, let's say. Uh, I'm thinking they will get around to River Country eventually. Like I said, as far as I know, the plans for it haven't changed. The plans that I heard was that River Country was supposed to be leveled in favor of timeshares for the wilderness campground. Whether that's true, whether that'll hold, I don't know. But time will tell. I hope this answers your questions. If you have any more questions, let me know. More than happy to answer them. I check my email and messages almost every day. So send me a letter, and I appreciate all of your viewing and comments and everything. I appreciate all the positive feedback that I've been getting on my videos. Okay? Take care, y'all. Bye.